I'm your host, and this is Tough from the Tomb. This is episode 4. Wow.
Yeah.
We have made it quite a far distance. Like, I honestly...
Wow.
Mind you, I didn't think I was going to do this for one episode. I'm not going to lie to you. But the fact we're even this far along is, actually, really, really nice. And I'm, truly appreciative of the opportunities that, everyone has given me. Shout out to my man Mitch for blessing me with the mic ski. You know, this is, definitely something I greatly appreciate. And, honestly, shout out to the Bourbon Boys for definitely being a motivator regarding actually doing a podcast in general. Shout out to all the guests as well for being with me and staying with me through all this.
Sorry.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. But continuing on, as I say normally, this is a podcast that mainly goes through mental health awareness and goes through the struggles that we go through every day in life. As said before, this is the 4th episode, and this episode, as well as most of the other ones before this, will be split into 2 parts due to the fact that this is not a single isolated conversation. This is something that I want to be a continued conversation, not just within us, but also within something with yourselves. I want these questions to be something that you guys can ask each other and ask your peers, ask your parents, ask your teachers, ask all that. But let's continue on to the topic. Drum roll, please. Episode 4 is we talking about the talk. Oh my god.
Oh no, what?
Alright, sarcasm is crazy. So we're talking about the talk, sexual wise. And
Sorry, my bad.
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and all the bad things.
Oh my god. So some of the subtopics that we're kind of unpacking is stigma, sexuality, self-identity, the impact of mental health on sexual experiences, addressing the shame and guilt that comes with those type of things, communication and consent, LGBTQ plus experiences, whoop whoop, trauma, healing, and pretty much discussing how to deal with that type of stuff and deal with other people's experiences. We're also going to go into in-depth experiences with our 4 special guests. 3 special guests. My apology. Shut up. We're talking about my man
2 people.
to the sky.
What, you got?
R.I.P. that boy.
You got,
Nah, we'll talk about him on another day.
Okay.
Free my man.
But not
It splits? I thought it just become one entity that's nothing.
Yes.
Alright. Whatever y'all are talking about, we will talk about later.
Apparently she's 2 people in one.
Identity crisis. But we're going to deal with that accordingly. So,
Maybe I'll have my entire life figured out by the end of this podcast.
oh Lord. We love to hear.
Only
Hey,
that's how life works.
we love to hear that, honestly. So, as I said before, we're going to go into those subtopics and truly go in depth with some of these things. Some of these questions are things that will really bring out a few questions that you would ask yourself.
What?
Not you.
You pointed at me. Oh, it's a pain. Sorry, they were pointing at me. Well, they were pointing the pain.
You're okay. So, our special guest, we have Molly,
What's that?
Cameron,
Sorry.
saw it,
Yes, sir.
and we got my man Caleb.
I'm not a guest, but okay.
All right.
Yay.
He said I live here.
This nigga.
Quite actually. What do you mean quite actually? It's just actually.
What?
I'm sorry. Actually.
Fair points, young my dear Watson.
Takes out his monocle.
All
I
right.
will have
All right. We do need to get into the actual questions and stuff like that. So the main question that I want to start off with is, can you share personal experiences or challenges you faced discussing sexuality and mental health, and how these topics kind of intersected in your lives? Molly, will you start?
I hit the mic. Ooh. One that doesn't work.
Did you check?
Yeah.
You sound checked it. She said, oh, well, it doesn't work.
It's weird holding a mic that doesn't work to not talk.
You know what's funny? What? It does work. It's just not gonna be like. Boo, 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 boo. I can hear it at all times.
Oh, okay.
So speak.
Well, what was the question?
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Can you share words? Oh my god. Can you share your personal experiences or challenges regarding sexuality and mental health, and how those intersected regarding your life?
Well, I came out as queer in the 8th grade, and it was like, I didn't really have that bad of an experience because a lot of the people that I surrounded myself with were like, you know, very supportive of me and like just kind of let me do my thing. You know, I never really, thankfully, I'm very fortunate that I didn't have any issues with anybody, you know, causing any hate or anything like that, or any discrimination or anything like that against it. But I think even now, there's times where I've realized that sexuality is such a fluid thing that sometimes I don't feel like I'm like, because I prefer to identify myself as queer instead of like putting a label on myself, like a specific label on myself, like bisexual or pansexual or lesbian or straight or whatever, because it's like I'm afraid that if I don't meet said criteria, people are going to be like, well, you're just not that anymore. And it's like, well, fuck that. Like, you can be whoever the fuck you want to be. And it took me a long time to realize that, of like, I can do whatever I want. I can be with whoever I want. Because I had a lot of like internalized homophobia, not because of the way I grew up, just because of like seeing like everything that's on social media and seeing everybody else kind of go through it. It was hard for me to be like, well, and even now, like I struggle with like being able to fully accept myself and be like, okay, well, is this the right thing to do? Because a lot of people will say it's not. And so, as much as I put up the front of like, oh, I don't care what people say or what people think, there's always that voice where it's like, well, I don't want people judging me for the way I decide to live my life. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's a big struggle for me. Being a queer one.
Indeed.
I don't know what else was said.
Not to be that type of person, but what was the question?
Okay, we're gonna shorten the
also,
question.
This question I'm walking off.
Why? What happened? Alright. You got it.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're good. So the question mainly just goes into how your sexuality and your mental health, like overall, like intertwined, and how like your sexuality in general, like drove like the way you carry yourself and how you go into your life.
For me, it really just made it so that I kept a lot more secrets, because being anything other than straight around my family was considered wrong, except for basically on like my mom's side of the family, because my grandmother on my biological father's side, she doesn't want me hanging around any gay people. Like, if she knew Molly wasn't straight, she wouldn't want me hanging around Molly. Other things like that. My grandmother on my stepfather's side has literally said that if any of us, meaning her grandchildren, had come out as gay, she would disown us. And so all it really did for me was make me more secretive and things like that. Also, yeah, I'm not like out towards my family. The only person that knows that I'm like not straight is my Aunt Nadia, and that's only because she's like 2 years older than me and she's like a sister to me. But everyone else, no, because it just wasn't as acceptable in my family. But yeah. Well, actually, 1 second. You gotta let go, sir.
Oh.
You're not gonna make the man limbo, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
You're sick.
Well, as far as sexuality and mental health goes, I'm straight. I'm comfortable in that. But if I'm being completely honest, well, first off, I relate to what Cameron said. My grandmother actually told me if anyone came out as gay in my family, meaning her grandchildren, she just wouldn't know what she'd do, right? And you can take that how you will, but I think it's a nice way of saying took this on us. Let's be honest. But you know, personally, I haven't really thought about sexuality. I identify straight because so far that's what I'm comfortable as, and I don't plan on changing it. But if I'm being completely honest, you know, I don't think about my sexuality because I don't really think of myself as sexual. I can't really see myself as being a sexual person. And I don't think I would classify that as asexuality. It's just something I don't think about. I never really thought about changing it, never thought about experimenting. You know, if you don't see yourself being with anybody, there's no reason to really go anywhere with it. So, but I think my issue is more on the mental side rather than the sexuality side, because I know I'm straight, right? But I think the hurdle I have to get over is just recognize that I'm a human being with needs like everyone else. And, you know, I just, it's not really wrong to think about myself in that way. It's actually pretty healthy to a degree. With moderation, regularity, of course. But, yeah, I think the hurdle I need to get over is just realizing that, hey, I can be with somebody. I deserve to have that. And I think after I get used to that, because let's be honest, right now I'm not, but maybe then I will ask more questions about it. I'm not saying I'm not firm in being straight, because I am, but, you know, who knows, you know? Yeah.
Respect to that, dog. Regarding this type of question, I'm pretty sure everybody and their mother already know I'm not the straightest motherfucking stick. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the thing is, I don't know what I am. And I actually was having this conversation with myself before I came here.
Is this spider? Sorry.
You're okay. That's not Daddy Longleg, but he cool. Let's just hope. But like quite literally, I don't know what I am, and it's like the thing is, I can't really put a label on it, and I never have been able to. Like, I had this conversation with my mother probably, I think, a year ago, like while I was dating my ex at the time, and I've always just kind of associated myself with being straight because it's like it's easier. And
it is easier.
It's easier. I kind of can just do what I want without nobody questioning.
Actually, I'm gonna break that down later.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, that's fine. That definitely can come up. That was one of the extra questions. But like it was always easier just to be like, yeah, I'm straight, and it's like it made my decisions a lot more easier to go about. Mm-hmm. Like, I kind of was raised in a household where it was just like, you're straight, you do what you want to do, but there's certain things you don't do. Like, the other day, like, I was quite literally painting my nails, I was talking about my piercings and stuff like that, and I think that's just not really a traditional thing in households and stuff like that, but that's a whole nother conversation. Mm-hmm. But, like, quite literally, like, I was questioned regarding my sexuality because of the fact I painted my nails. The fact that I wore earrings, the fact that I was doing skincare and stuff like that, the fact that I wear certain types of clothes, it's like the fact that I was willing to like do stuff that's not really the most traditional household type of thing. And it wasn't at the moment where I was like questioning my sexuality. What made me question my sexuality was quite literally like my experiences. Me personally, I live a life where it was like, where I'm like, I want to try almost everything. We're not talking about drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, don't do drugs. Those are bad. Unless they're prescribed. If you need those, take them.
Yes.
Yes.
Go to a doctor. But I live a life where it's like I want to try almost everything. Like I know there's certain things that aren't really the most conservative or the most like direct regarding like trying things, but I would love to like try them. Like I was having a conversation with my mother, like straight up, I want to go to a rave at some point. I don't know nothing about no goddamn rave. Yeah. Fuck, I want to try crocheting.
I mean, it's just people. Raving is just people. Crocheting is just knitting.
Yeah, you say that, but like when I bring it up as a 6'2", 230-pound black man,
yeah,
it's like you shouldn't be doing that. And it's like there's like certain things where it's like straight up.
Can I break that down?
We will break it down after I'm done.
Okay.
But there's like certain things that like I can't do simply because of who I am and what I am.
Society tells you can't do it.
Yeah.
No, I mean like I like it's not even a thing of like society. Like I had to quite literally come to grips with the fact that I'm my own person.
Yeah.
Like the conversation we were having earlier, it was a thing of we're doing things for ourselves because it's our life.
Right.
This is off screen, everyone. This is a very in-depth conversation, but like
no, it's not.
It was off screen. Shut up! But you're behind the camera.
Include this shit right here. It's deep. It's good.
Indeed. But like quite literally, I've kind of like allowed societal pressures to like push me to stop doing things. Like I stopped painting my nails.
Well, that's why I said it's society telling you you can't do it.
Indeed.
And it's you basically, you're like coming out of your shell and saying, no, fuck you, I can do whatever I want to do.
Right.
And it's coming to terms, it's the coming to terms of like breaking through that. But it's like the when you're saying, like, you're like, I'm like, I can't do it, it's not you saying you can't do it, it's society saying you can't do it.
Indeed. And it's like I kind of like felt a guilt for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other day I was having a conversation with somebody and like it was basically the fact that I was being different. Like I was dyeing my hair, painting my nails and shit like that. And it's like it's because it's stuff I enjoyed doing. I kind of stopped, not because like I wanted to, like offhand, because it was just like it felt uncomfortable doing it again. And I don't know what made me stop, because I'll probably start when I go back to school again. But like I straight up just stopped. And it was like I think the moment I stopped, it made me not feel like myself.
Right.
Like when I come home, I do feel as though I have to like hide certain things and I have to do certain things a different way. Like I have to question myself regarding certain acts, certain types of jewelry. It's just like as I've said, I'm not the most normal person in the world. I'm a little weird, a little kooky, you know. And no, I got a problem. I'm not gonna lie to you, we got problems.
We all have problems, bro. Okay.
We will come back to breaking that shit down.
I wanna add to what he was saying. Something I thought about is that when I go out, like I'm straight passing. Like you will see me on the street and you will assume that I'm straight because of the way that I dress, the way that I act, everything like that. A lot of people, even my friends have told me, like Tyler's told me, you're straight passing. Katya has told me I'm straight passing. Everybody I know has said I'm straight passing, so it makes kind of finding someone who isn't a cis male is really hard because they'll just assume. And a lot of people do assume. And so that's why, you know, I have like my pride lanyard and I have a pride flag because it's my way of showing the world, hey, hello, I'm here, you know. But also, I notice myself hiding my lanyard when I'm around people because I'm afraid of that judgment. I'm afraid of people because I see how LGBTQ people are treated. And I've, like, on the internet and just in general, like, I see it. And, like, I don't want to be part of that, so I hide that part of myself. And it kind of sucks because then it makes me feel like I can't be who I am.
No, I get that.
And so, but I the thing is, like, I never will say that I'm straight because I know I'm not. And I've come to terms in the sense of, like, if people don't accept me for who I am, they can kick rocks. I'm gonna like let them go and not worry about their opinion. But even so, like I still find myself hiding that part of myself when I'm around strangers because I don't know how people are gonna react. I don't want to go on the bus one day and have a bus driver be like, "You can't get on." Well, why can't I get on? Because you're gay. Well, what the fuck does that have to do with it? And I mean, I notice, like, now things are getting a lot better with society, and society is getting a lot more. No?
Yeah, they kind of just pass them. Where
well, no. I mean, yes. I mean, in the South, yeah.
No, I mean, like, everywhere.
Well, with the whole, the whole trans thing. Damn, I really...
No, that's not just trans people. That's everybody.
It's
the whole, yeah. That's why, like...
Wait,
okay.
Hold on. What is the thing?
So, it's like...
It's a new bill that passed.
Where you can, like...
Office, where you...
Yeah!
No. Certain businesses can say their religion goes against whatever your norm is.
That's fucking bullshit.
So that you can't go through this.
Yeah, no, I want you to understand. Like, I fully understand, like, where you're coming from regarding that. And it's, like, hiding that part of you. And that's why, like, quite literally, like, a friend of mine asked me the other day, like, straight up, are you gay? And I was like, not gay enough. The fuck? I'm like, I can't really give you an answer on that one. I'm not gonna lie to you, because there is no answer for me to give you.
Yeah.
It's just like...
I think what I meant by, like, society is I meant, like, our generation of people are a lot more accepting than older generations. Because, like, the people that pass these bills are people from earlier generations.
I will say that, although you have laws like that, right, it's not Jim Crow levels of oppression. Like, the LGBTQ community is way more supported than nowadays, rather than if this were to come in the 60s or earlier, even 70s, right?
Right.
This would be a whole thing. Well, it was a thing, but civil rights movement got overshadowed a lot of that. It's just even though you have laws like that, generally, right, it's a lot more accepting. It's why we have Pride Month, right, and a Pride Parade, right, and things are a lot more most people, right, a majority of people that I've seen, right, because I can't speak to everyone, most people have been comfortable with expressing themselves online, and the straight part of society, the straight part of society has has opened up, because at my university, right, we have an option to where you can say your pronouns on your Blackboard profile. I didn't do it because I didn't care, but it's really helpful for most folks that identify with that. Can I break that down then, sir? I have the...
Yeah, you can break it down.
Okay.
Break it down. Break it down.
I will indeed. So I wanted to come back to the point you said earlier about you were doing these things like painting your nails and dyeing your hair, wearing these clothes, and I find it weird that you associate that with sexuality.
Yeah, I could actually go into that one. Right? I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because, there used to be a time where if you wore pink as a man, you were gay, right? And pink's just a color.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and so this is me just genuinely asking and genuinely like just having an opinion. I don't see how. I mean, of course, wearing people gonna assume, but you know, I feel as though as long as you don't, you know, or as long as they don't, or people don't ask you, right? I don't know. I just, bottom line, I don't see the correlation between, you know, wearing an outfit, painting your nails. I don't see how that's a correlation of being gay, right? Because rockers paint their nails, right? Rockers will wear makeup, and I know it's different.
Femboys also.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's like, obviously we're not saying like that means you're not.
Yeah, no.
It's like, it's more of like a, well, there's a lot of, like, especially now, a lot of males have come forward about painting their nails and wearing more feminine clothing, because it's just that, it's feminine clothing. It's not
Even less than that, it's just clothes.
Right, exactly. And it's like, you know, I wear clothes that are baggy, that are more masculine looking, you know, but that doesn't, okay, a lot of people will assume, you know, oh, you're gay.
Right.
And I mean, to be fair, I do that because I want to look like I'm gay, because I'm so straight passing, but I mean, it's really just it's a form of self-expression, and there doesn't necessarily have to be, like you said, a correlation between those two things. If you want it to be, that is perfectly okay.
Yeah,
that's absolutely acceptable.
Oh no, Jesus Christ! No, I just like wearing my own damn clothes. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like regarding that, like topic, I don't think it's a thing of like me, like actually saying it. I think it's more of a,
It's everybody else.
Yeah, like quite like I'm looking at the camera for this one. Quite literally, I like was just chilling in clothes I was wearing. Quite literally, I was wearing my my girlfriend at the time sweater, and like I was like, "Why are you wearing that?" No, I'm not gonna say that. That's out of pocket. Why are you wearing that F slur sweater? And I asked sweater, and I'm like, "What? Like, why? Where did you come from with that? Like, what did you get from that?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Bro, like." You're fucking idiots.
Oh, I thought this was a part of the bit. I'm sorry.
No, the bit he was fucking.
I think we've had one too many.
He was an idiot too, but like that shit like ruined my whole. I wanted to realize beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't do that.
Yeah. That's
because then I get the mad black man card.
But I will say though, sometimes clothes are just clothes, right? And when people, and this is easier said than done, obviously, but I'm still going to say it anyway. When people make those assumptions off of literally just personal style choice, that shows you their ignorance.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't really mean anything. It's not anything against you, right? You don't necessarily have to question your sexuality unless you actually are questioning your sexuality. Just because someone pointed out that your nails are painted black.
Or even purple.
Or even purple.
Yeah, to this point, I'd like to bring up the fact that, like, because your skin is black, you're treated differently. So, like, based off the way you dress, you might be treated differently in certain places. Because the person behind
that is something I
might think you're gay, and that makes them treat you differently regardless, right? Like, you have no effect on how they treat you, but they do treat you differently than every other, like,
cis-looking.
Like, I don't think you experience it in like your own way, but like I experience it simply in the fact that I'm me.
You know,
like everything I do is like eagle-eyed. So like,
because you're 6 foot black man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I went into the hospital earlier and I got eagle-eyed.
Mean mug.
No, eagle-eyed. Like straight up, like staring me up. Not mean mug, because they're scared.
Yeah.
Like naturally, like we went into this last episode where like.
You have your chair or because you have your canes. That's the same way that people treat like gay people based off like nail color.
Not entirely the same, but I get where you're coming from.
And it's like it might not be the same for you, and it's no true correlation. Like what you have, if you would like to break that down sometime, and explain that to them, because like we can break that down.
What
Like
I experience is not a sexuality thing, but just it's a pure assumption thing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna break this down right now. Because I'm in a wheelchair, people assume that I can't do things for myself. People think that I need reliance, right, on people. And, you know, people will just go out of their way to do things for me when I didn't ask them to. One of my most popular phrases is, I got it, right? I'm good or I got it. I'm good as the mental, I got it as the physical. But bottom line is, because people see me in a wheelchair or canes, they think I can't do things for myself, and without question, they will try to reach out and do things for me without me even saying anything. Sometimes people just snatch things away from me. That's right. But even my own parents, like, I found this out recently, like, even my own parents doubt my ability, right? And I'm gonna be 100% honest, that's the last place I wanted to get it from. Because I thought that I only had to do that, deal with that rather, on the outside, right? But when I came home, I thought everyone knew that I can do things on my own. And that's not the case, right? And to a degree, I understand how, you know, that sort of assumption, right, can affect people who deal with that sexually, right, or sexual orientation, right? Because at the end of the day, bottom line, people are making assumptions, so they'll do things without knowing, right? They'll make judgments without knowing, you know, how you really handle it, or how you feel about it, or how you actually perceive yourself, right? What I wanted to bring up, though, if you allow me to,
do you think? Do you think?
Yeah. Religion, right? The religious part of it, right?
Oh yeah.
I identify as Baptist. I am a born-again Baptist believer, right? And a majority of people in my camp, right, think that being gay or anything other than straight is a sin, right? Fortunately, I have not experienced that turmoil or that shame religiously, but I have seen my own family members become the most vile people when it comes to talking about sexuality. And the point I wanted to make about the religious aspect, I am a believer that believes that the higher power, God, loves you regardless, right? I am of the belief that God loves you for your soul, your spirit, and He is not focusing on what you identify as. He's not focusing on what color you paint your nails, what color your shirt is, what color your dress is. What I think, all He cares about is loving your neighbor and loving Him, right? So when I see people, you know, bashing gay people and saying that they're going to hell and that they're not God's children, it sickens me, because we supposedly, or they supposedly worship this almighty God that, you know, they preach God is love and you should love everyone. But when it comes to somebody that's different, that's when they want to use the Bible to shame people, right? And personally, I'm not with that, right? I really don't think that that's what the Bible intends, right? And so that's why I don't pass judgment on people. Well, I don't pass judgment on people because it's not right. Like, religion or no religion, spirituality, it's just not a good thing to do. It's asshole-ish to do that. But to back it up, Christians can be the biggest hypocrites when it comes to talking about sexuality, right? I refuse to be one of them. And I mentioned this earlier, but no matter what you identify as, right? I love you and I support you, right? If you come out later as whatever, I got you, right? I'll always be in your corner. Same for you. Because I'm not that type of person to pass judgment just because I believe in a different... Yo, you good?
My nigga, I want you to understand this, dog. I ain't even tell you this shit. Like, I was never gonna tell nobody. Like, I am not really the most comfortable regarding this shit. And just hearing that, like, that shit make me feel good. Shit make me happy. That shit make me smile.
Don't worry, man. I'm not...
I want you to understand, like, regarding that type of stuff, like, I am naturally shamed for my existence.
You won't get that from me.
And I get that from everyone. It might not be you specifically, but I walk and I am shamed. I talk and I am shamed. I literally exist. And I, like, realize that, like, I can't listen to that shit. But, like, after a certain amount of time, like, there's being judged and you just have to take it. And then there is, you are a horrible, like, like, I was told, like, you are a horrible individual simply because of, like, something I did. And, like, I don't even remember what the fuck I did. But, like, that shit sits with me. Yeah. Like, I legit, like, broke down. And I'm like, a man who, like, doesn't cry that often. Mm-hmm. Because, it's like, I was told growing up, like, you're not supposed to cry. But, like, I'm like, deadass, like, that shit hit me. Because I was, like, sitting there and I'm like, fuck the episode at this point. Yeah. I'm telling you my truth. Yeah. Like, that shit hurts. Yeah. Like, there were points in my life where I was like, I can't take it anymore. I'm not saying that I was, like, about to jump off the bridge. Like, that does happen with people, and I fully respect that happens, and I don't want you to ever feel uncomfortable about discussing that. But, like, I never got to that point. What point I did get to was I stayed up 4 days in a row. Mm-hmm. Didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't drink water. I don't know how I survived. I passed out day 4 because I was thinking, and I was questioning if I was in the wrong regarding anything. Like, and what started the conversation of that within my head? I wore a rainbow drug rug.
What's the drug rug?
It's the little coat. I'll show you a picture of it afterwards. I'll probably maybe I'll tag it towards in the video. But, like, quite literally, and it was like I was wearing these donut sweatpants, and I proceeded to, like, get mass, and I mean, like, mass, like, reach outs, and I'm like, oh, this is nice, like, human interaction, because, like, at this point I was stuck, like, during COVID, and it was all hate. Like, not this is a nice little outfit, why don't you wear this more often? No, straight up, like, hate. And not just from, like, people outside, but, like, people in my initial circle, where they'd be like, why you got that gay ass shit on? Yeah. Why you got that, like, matter of fact, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Like, that, like, it was, like, made me, like, break down and, like, question myself. And I'm like, that was the first time I ever, like, questioned my sexuality. And in that moment, I realized I was straight still.
Yeah. But, point being, and I surround myself with those types of people. Not willingly, it's just I can't. It's just because I, am a believer. Ignorance comes with the territory, right? But what I'm saying is that, I do not pass judgment on those that are different than me, right? Because, you know, the good book tells stories of people who were around people that were different from them and did good, right? They did good things, right? And somehow that's lost on the older generation and even some younger generations. But, you know, all I'm saying is, I love you, right? I love you for you. You don't have to hide yourself, hide any part of yourself from me. Because I've known you since day one. And I got you.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
Can I talk a little bit about? So, I grew up, and so I'm an Episcopalian, and that is on kind of a different spectrum from where you were grown up, or where you experienced religion. The Episcopalians are more progressive, but that doesn't change the fact that I question God. I know, like, I've always been taught, like, you shouldn't question him, whatever, but I've always had this notion of, like, well, why if God is this all-powerful person, why would he make me different and bring hate towards them? Or cause other people to hate towards me?
Can I?
And it really, like, I struggle with being able to think that, you know, God's in my corner. Because sometimes I really don't believe that. I don't believe that he's got me or that he has a plan for me. First of all, I can't even wrap my head around the fact that God, that there's someone or something that is planning out my future and my destiny or whatever, and it feels like I can't make my own decisions. But when it comes to, like, the people that say, oh, God thinks this, God thinks you're terrible for loving the same person or loving the same type of person that you are, I find that a little bit ridiculous in my opinion. Because it's like, we all bleed the same color, regardless of what we look like, regardless of, you know, who we are on the inside, or what we believe, or how we decide to live our lives. But even so, with that, you know, like, because, like, being part of the community, I don't judge. I can't. Because if I judge them, I judge myself. And I already fucking do enough of that. Like, I do enough of that as is every day. Like, are my clothes on right? Like, will I be accepted in where I'm going? Will people, you know, treat me nicely? And I'm, you know, being straight passing, it does make life a little bit easier. You know, like, and I hate to say that because it's like, it's not fair to other people who aren't straight passing. You know, because I feel like I'm an outsider, even in the LGBTQ community. Because, like, I have to wear rainbows. I have to make myself look gay in order to be perceived as gay.
Right.
You know?
And sorry if I'm cutting you off, but it's ironic because, you know, straight people go through it all the time. Or just people in general, no labels or nothing. If you're in a collective, if you're in a society, bottom line, they're gonna want you to look like them, right? And on the religious aspect, questioning God and all that. First of all, let me start off by saying you're not wrong. I hope you know you're not wrong. I'm straight and I question God, right? But I think the comical hypocrisy of most Christians today is that they understand, they read the Bible, but they also try to put words in God's mouth, right? And keep in mind, we are mortal people, right? Understand, we have no clue what God looks like, what he actually said, what he actually meant when he said those things. And even the Bible, right? I would stand by this. I would die on this hill and say that, yes, the Bible is, I follow the Bible, but I also understand and realize that the Bible is man-made, right? The Bible wrote that. Somebody wrote the Bible, right? It's inspired by what people think God would want them to say and do, but we don't actually know. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I think this whole, Christians bashing, people of the LGBT community, right? They have no place, really, because one, they're not God. Two, they can't speak for God. And three, they themselves, deep down, they're questioning too, right? They're questioning too. Everybody questions everything, right?
Sorry, I can see why he's a fan favorite. Anyway, continue.
He's
good with words. Like I can't do that.
No, so the thing is, like, quite literally regarding like that type of stuff, it's not a thing of just like being good with words. It's a thing of being comfortable speaking on the issues.
I mean, I'm comfortable speaking about it. I never know
what to say
or how to say it.
Because you never just talk about it with yourself. Going back to that, quite literally, something that I especially nowadays, I'm making more practical is a simple fact that, like, I ask myself these questions. Right. Like, I don't just write these down because I'm writing these questions down for somebody else to hear, and I want to talk about this in a podcast.
I also am good with it because I spend a lot of time alone, right? And I think about these things, and I meditate on these things, and I talk to other people about them. And honestly, it just takes practice, right? But as I was saying, like,
ask yourself these questions.
Like, we as humans are a flawed species, right? Mm-hmm. We will make rules, make laws, make quotas, make standards. But in all actuality, until our judgment day, until we are in the ground, we will not know a damn thing, right? So, like the saying is, take it with a grain of salt, right? I would take all those judgments with a grain of salt. And I can't speak for you religiously, but I do believe that God is in your corner, right? You may not hear him, but I believe he's there, and he's looking at you, and he loves you, and he accepts you, right? But that's just me, though. And people are dumb. Right?
I agree.
People are really dumb.
Yeah.
And they're hypocrites, and they're nasty, and they're evil. But people are good too. All people, right? And so I just think that, when it comes to judgment, take it with a grain of salt. But I think what's most important is that you take it easy on yourself, right? And, preaching to the choir here, I need to take my own advice. But I'm saying it because I experienced it so much. I think you are your greatest champion. You are your greatest advocate, right? I honestly believe that if you have the self-respect, self-confidence, and most importantly, self-love, then you are invincible, right? You are indestructible. Nobody can touch you, because if you believe, in yourself, right? If you, have that self-love and self-mercy, then who are they to tell you what you are, right?
Yeah. Self-love has always been I hope it's okay to go into this.
Girl, this is, I want you to understand this. There are questions that I have, like, set in stone, but, like, as I've discussed with everyone, like, on every episode, we are never except for the first question, we are never going to ask the question directly. There are two more things that I want to, like, go into, but go into that. Like, we'll continue on to that conversation.
So, self-love, that's a really big topic. There's been some, like, things that have happened over my life where I kind of go back to that self-hatred. And I don't want to be like, sometimes even there are times where it's not just self-hatred, it's self-loathing, and it's like really bad. And I've tried working at it, and that's why therapy has done a huge deal for me.
Same.
Go to therapy.
Same.
It's gonna save your life. I swear to God.
Go to therapy. No, I'm so serious. I don't mean to cut you off, but
energy drinks and Pop-Tarts are not
Coffee.
therapy.
I'm
Not gonna.
If it's one thing that I'm really, really, really standing on, it's not just therapy, but actually going to get professional help.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Growing up, I was one of those kids where it's like, yeah, no, I don't need it. I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. And it's
I
like,
was like that. I'm still like that. I go to therapy, but I'm still like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was not quite the. It was like I'm fine. I don't need it, but it's also like I don't need my parents to worry about me because I wasn't. I had a sibling who had a lot of issues, a lot of struggles. So I felt like I couldn't have struggles.
Yeah.
I couldn't have that because it's like, well, then they're gonna worry about me, and then they're gonna assume that I'm gonna, go down this path, and that's not at all how it is. I'm a functioning. I'm a. They don't like using this word in the psychology world. A high functioning, depressed person, I guess. A high functioning person with depression, because I can deal with doing shit. I can get shit done and still be severely depressed. And throughout my life, even especially recent things, even in just the past couple of years, have screwed me over really bad mentally. And it's like a catapult event, but also it's caused a lot of turmoil within me. And it's, that self-love I've always struggled with. And I think everybody does to an extent. And I don't think you can be truly confident. There are some people who are truly confident, but then when they're truly confident, they come off as cocky and kind of an asshole and whatever. But even those people are still insecure in some ways. But self-love has always been a battle for me, and I have done a lot of things. I'm going to the gym because it's something I want to do for myself because I want to look better.
Slay.
I want to feel better.
Yeah.
Slay.
Yeah.
And I am changing my hair because I want to experiment. I wasn't able to do that. I'm just kind of being very impulsive. And I think one of the questions you asked about is the guilt.
Mm-hmm.
I was very hypersexual this past year. Past school. Very hypersexual. And I'm not afraid to admit that because that's who I was. And I was kind of, I was kind of a hoe. I was kind of a whore.
We gonna be, hey, if
we gonna be nice about myself?
No, not just that, but we're gonna be correct. You're not a hoe.
Well, I felt like it.
A slut.
No, there was
Hoes get paid.
There was,
Yo!
No, if we're gonna, so one of the things I will go on about this one day, but we're not having this conversation because that is a 2-hour long conversation.
So a whore gets paid, a slut does not.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you can be paid as a slut, but it's just.
Whatever.
Okay,
I respect strippers and whores.
I was a person who had multiple partners in a short amount of time.
Uh-huh.
And I felt really gross. I had a good time. I enjoyed myself. But even during the times that I did enjoy myself, there were periods of time where I was I looked at myself in the mirror and was like, who the fuck are you? I couldn't recognize myself. I couldn't, I looked at myself and I was like, what happened to you? Where did you go? That 12-year-old person who would not let anybody touch her until they've gotten to know you. What happened to that? And I hated that. I was like, what the fuck? But like at the same time, I was like, I feel so confident about myself. I feel so sexy. And then there were certain things that happened that just like also caused that, like, you know, I doubted. Like I was so impulsive that things kind of like happened. And it was like that's where it rocked my confidence. That's where I was like, who are you? Like, you are not who you used to be. Like, if I'm gonna be completely honest, and people have told me this, and I've even realized this myself, I wasn't just a slut, I was easy. And that's where it really fucked me over. Because I would be at a club, and I would talk to a guy, and then the next thing you know, I'm making out with him. You know, like, it's like that. And I'm now at a point where I've been forced to step back and look at myself. And be like, okay, certain things have happened, so you can't act like this anymore. Because if you continue, it's gonna continue. And I don't like the way it makes me feel. At all. Like, I realized I'm like, I can't...
Ring down. Continue.
I can't, like, there are days now where I don't even recognize myself. No, I'm gonna fucking look at myself. Like, I don't wanna, I'm like, gross. You know, like, I'm like, I feel absolutely unrecognizable. So I have come to a point where I've been forced to step back and say, I need to slow the fuck down. I need to slow down with everything that I do, with people that I'm with decisions that I make. Like, I cannot continue this, because if I continue this, my mental health is going to absolutely plummet. More than it already has.
You know what's funny? I'm on the complete opposite side of that coin, right? Instead of telling myself, you know, what happened changed, what my inner demon tells me, you're still the same shit. You're still the same piece of garbage, right? Yeah, I'm opposite, because I think, and I went into this earlier, right? I alluded to this earlier. I think nobody's gonna love me romantically or sexually. I think that, you know, I'm just not in that. I'm just not in that world. And I told myself that I can never be. I can't. Right? That's one place I tell myself I can't. Right? Of all my confidence, of all my self-love, when it comes to that, the romantic world, the sexual world, no. Right? And I tell myself, instead of slowing down, I tell myself, get out there, meet people, right? You know, just have fun, relax. Quite literally, be yourself. But you know what myself is? Myself is being inside. I like being alone, right? I don't like being lonely, not all the time, but being alone is my thing. And you know, we talked about this on an earlier episode, how I question, am I ready for that kind of thing? Will I ever be ready for that kind of thing? Will I be happy if I had that, right? And I just find that so interesting, because, you know, I've never even had that luxury, right? I don't go to clubs, right? And I don't think about if the lady sitting on the wall is checking me out. My automatic response is they're not, right? And let's talk about my guilt for a second. I feel guilty whenever I ask someone out and it doesn't go right. I tell myself, who the hell are you to think that you can be with that person, right? And not even day before. The day before, I'd be telling myself the opposite. I'd be like, Caleb, you got it. You know, you can be this person. But when it doesn't work out, I tell myself, you know, silly me, you know, and I lock myself up, right? And I too have to slow down with locking myself up, and it's just the guilt is crushing because, you know, you really feel like something's wrong with you, right? And maybe something is wrong with me, I don't know. But yeah, no, I find it so intriguing because, you know, it's not that I don't try, but because I do, it's just, you know, the voice.
Yeah.
Stop, because then you're gonna get into a bit that I can't not take, like, make into a bit. Caleb, can I can I speak on this before you make this into the bit? This bit is not okay. It's a bit me and Caleb started randomly. It'll probably come out in my clothing line. I'm plugging that now. So within the next year or so, we're gonna do a clothing line regarding mental health awareness. Yes, and that's not good. It's gonna be a secret item that I honestly will make probably for myself, and I'll wear in an episode, and you'll never truly know when I'm wearing it. But just know. Oh my God!
But anyway,
it's horrible. But no,
the inner monologue.
But no, no, you need to stop because I know I won't stop people normally in conversation. But before you even get into that, I quite literally I wanted to say this. I'm in the middle between both of you. So because of who I am and what I do in my lifetime, it's I'm kind of expected to be this player, this guy who's going out and doing all this shit, sleeping with all these women and stuff like that. And it's at first I thought I could keep up with the lifestyle, and it was
shit is hard, bro. That is so much time and so much energy to be a whore. I swear to God, I don't have that
sluts
time or patience.
Be correct.
Political correctness.
It's so much effort. Anyway, continue.
No,
sorry,
but quite literally, it's exhausting and annoying. Mm-hmm. And it's I literally was sitting there because I broke up with my ex at the time. I miss her. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be upfront about it. I miss.
I still miss my ex.
No, I mean okay. So let me not say that. I don't miss my ex.
You miss the idea.
No.
No?
No, I honestly, I couldn't tell you. I don't really know how to word it. No, I do know how to fucking word this. Let me be honest. I miss having something.
Yes! Oh my God!
And, the problem was, as soon as I didn't have something, it was a thing of, oh, snap. So what do I do now? Because quite literally, I gained accustomed to fucking every other day. I would fuck all the time, and it's I would quite literally I was a slut. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little slut. But shit, but I want you to understand, but I got accustomed to having something, and then when I didn't have that something, there was a thing of depression. Yep. Nowadays, I'm straight up good because I understand that you're not always gonna have something. Yep. But what I am now is, and I had to put the tut ring down because now I'm showing the real me, the full me, not just the fucking purview that I allow you, not just the purview of not the purview of that what I want to show you, but I quite literally had to come to terms with the fact that I am alone, and it's something you have to be okay with. And don't get me wrong, I quite literally I don't think I've ever actually told my friends, but I like to be alone. And it's I know it comes off as a thing, even for this motherfucker, it comes even for my mother, it comes off as oh, you like to go out, you like to do something. No, I just like to be with the people that I want to be with at that moment. Like, my love language is not just touch. It's not just give somebody a gift. My love language is just being around you in general, dog. Like, I don't care what we're doing. Like, I don't care what the fuck we're doing. But, like, I want to be around you. And, like, I had a hard time explaining that to, like, my past relationship. Because it's like, they're expected to just fuck. Because you're huge. You got a dick.
Yo.
And you're expected of this. And it's like, I don't want to. Like, quite literally, like, in high school, I went on a span of, like, going with back to back to back to back. It was like month after month after month of getting relationships
every month.
It was a new girl every month, and I had this mantra where it was like, on to the next one, on to the next one. And I'm like,
that on to me. I took it in a different direction. You inspired me with that, but now that I know its origin,
but like,
it's still my mantra, but
quite literally, like, it was like, on to the next one. I think it was a Drake song, if I'm correct. On to the next one. Jay-Z, that's what it was. But it was like, it was on to the next one, and it was like, I realized, like, I can't do that. Like, one, like, so that mentality gave way to something that is, like, really, really fucked up to, like, explain to people, because no one will truly understand it. I have to teach myself to like you. Straight up. No bullshit. Like, I have to teach myself to like you. So me loving you, if I truly do love you, we're not breaking up.
Yeah.
We're best friends.
We're for life.
For life.
Yeah.
Like, I quite literally, and it was like, I really can't, like, explain it, like, any more than that. Because it's like, straight up, like, I don't know how to just, like, I don't know how to express love, for real. Straight up. It's like, growing up, like, it was, especially in high school, it was quite literally, like, you do your little lovey-dovey shit in the hallway.
Oh my god, I love you.
I hate that shit. It's fucking weird. For me, at least. You can do your thing. I do love kissing in public. I love holding hands and shit. But, like, I don't need to do that. I don't need to post you all the time to, like, show my love and affection. My love and affection is just being around you. My love and affection is those random moments where it's just like, I can laugh with you. I can... That ass, like, I would, like, if I'm, like I won't be thinking about something, and I'll, like, stem, and I'll pick you up, and we'll run outside and go do some random ass shit. Yeah. And if that's your love language...
So, can I speak on that? Because, like, again, opposite that, right? Because, like, I remember you saying earlier that, you had something, and you're not having that anymore. You miss it, right? But for me, is I had something, right? But it wasn't real. You know, it was a lie, right? So now, what I struggle with, or what I yearn for, is to feel that real thing, right? Because, you know, I don't. Because honestly, like, I'm feeling that. Like, I don't know what that loving experience is like, right?
Yeah.
And I yearn for it, and you know, I try to medicate in unhealthy ways, and I feel like shit. But then, you know, I don't know, and you know, and I feel like everyone likes being alone sometimes, but I guess the difference is I draw my energy from being by myself. Like we were saying, you know, I'm able to formulate my thoughts so well. What I've heard is because I actually sit down and read, and what I come to realize is like, hey yo, we don't know what love is, like, at all. We don't know aversion. We don't know, you know, I wanna know what love is. Yeah, no. Yeah. But actually, like, sometimes, and you know, I debate with myself if I truly believe in, you know how they say the one, right? I think about, I don't know who the one is. Like,
I will say, I'm I am a hopeless romantic. No matter like how much of a slut I've been, I yearn for that realness. But because of
where's my dad? Hold on.
See now, it's from a reformed slut.
But because yeah. Because of the like, since I was 12 years old. About 12 years old. I've been sexualized by anybody who, can get their eyes on me. Because I'm a woman. And I'm a woman who is shaped the way that I am. I have meat on my legs. I have hips. I have a chest. I have, I would think a nice ass. I mean, I don't know, a lot of people tell me that, but like, whatever. Regardless of that.
That'll be disclosed later.
Because of the way I'm shaped, I've been sexualized so much that I yearn for that realness. I want to feel, I don't believe people when they say, I want you for who you are. Because I have been used before.
Yeah.
That's not even just like in a relationship, just in general. I've been used for my body. And that shit sucks. It hurts because it's like, a lot of the times it's people who I put my trust in. And then you find out that's not who they are.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck just happened? I thought you were this person, or I thought you were gonna do, you weren't gonna do that because you told me you would never do that, and then you go ahead and do it, and it's like, well, what the fuck, and like I will say I have been fortunate enough to experience some sort of love. Maybe it's not true love, but it is love in a sense, whether that's through friends or whether that's through another, like a significant other. I've been cheated on. All of y'all know about that. All y'all know about that. And
I still want to kill him.
I know.
I mean, I
just don't know where
I didn't know. What?
That's a whole.
I just don't know where the gremlin is. But when we find him, as we always say, we will deal with him accordingly.
That needs to be on the
shirt. So I've been cheated on. I've been used. Not to sound like too depressing, but like that's the thing. That's the thing that has happened to me, and it's not. That's where when I was kind of going into the self-loathing, that's kind of where I was dabbling a little bit. But going back to the whole you want. I struggle with being able to accept myself as a hopeless romantic because no one in this, not the very, very, very few people in this generation are hopeless romantics or even just not part of the hookup culture. And I before I tried to, avoid the hookup culture, but it sucked me. And it spat me right back the fuck out. Kind of damaged. But it's okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Fuck, I lost that question. I'll grab another one from the air.
Well, while you're thinking of it, I will say...
I have another question.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You cut me off a lot, but it's okay. I allow you. I'm gonna just throw you my shoe. I'm gonna throw your shoe at you.
What's up?
Also, Caleb, fuck. Audience, I'm wearing his shoes. So, do you feel as though, you could actually, words, I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, go ahead, man.
Do you feel as though that you could either bring someone out of that, because I know everyone's out of the hookup culture. I know everyone's oh, I can fix him, or no, I mean, do you truly feel as though if this person is the one for you, could you be with this person?
From hooking up with them?
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, to an extent. It's only if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that whole thing, I can fix him or I can pull him out of the hookup culture. It's only if it's a matched energy.
Mm-hmm.
that I can bring them out.
Because the last thing you want is Captain Sabo.
So, so like, I don't think, like, if I'm hooking up with a guy, and this is actually, like, I've been hooking up with one single person, like, a person consistently
I'm sorry.
for a really long time, like, consistently. But we're not together. But I'm saying, like, yes, I think I could pull someone out if they wanted to be pulled out.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like, me personally, I was forced out because of shit that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was, like, you know, I'm not really gonna get into that, but
we'll talk about that off the air if you feel comfortable with it.
it's complicated.
All right. Hey,
So probably not.
leave it be.
But I was catapulted out of the hookup culture. I probably would have continued for a little bit because, like, I was at a point where I was like, this is a lot of energy. I'm really bored. This is shit kind of fucking sucks mentally because, like, I just want to have that one person to, like, keep me grounded, keep me like where I can grow with it. The hopeless romantic shit, you know? All my hopeless romantics know what I'm talking about, you know?
It's hard out here for us.
The whole, like, you know, I'm a person who feels a lot. And so I want to be able to give all of that to a person and grow with them and love them and have a family with them and all of that lovely shit.
Is that what a hopeless romantic is?
Well, it's more of like I will find my one person.
Oh,
the
yeah,
person that
no.
I'm meant to be with.
Okay.
And, like, I truly believe that there is one person that is meant for me. And that, well, I think that there's, like, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people that are meant for me. But it's through different periods of my life. But I do know that I am supposed to end up with that one person who I'm going to marry and who I'm going to die with.
Mm-hmm. Can I take the mic for a second? No.
Sorry.
I got my own mic. As I said before, we got that big boy right here.
Oh.
Okay.
Alright.
But, so, like, regarding that, like, at one point, I definitely could say I was a hopeless romantic. And I definitely believed in, there was one person for me and stuff like that.
I'm also just a really ridiculously optimistic person.
Oh,
I'm
no.
also a really bad pessimist at the same time.
Girl, I am optimistic as fuck. That's the only reason I got through fucking naps. I'm not gonna lie to you. Naval County Prep School, if you was there during COVID, that shit was... Oh my god. Like, I have...
Booty juice.
Like, I have never, like, done, like been through, like, actual depression until I went there. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm an optimistic person. Like, I was, like, failing, and then it's like, I'd be like, I'm cool with this. Like, me getting a 50, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, there was, like, a point where it was like, I was getting 10s, and, like, I was, like, sitting in my room, like, I forget what, I think it's, like, 12th Street. I forget what it was. Caleb knows the song. I used to sing this bitch, like, on a weekly basis, because when it first came out, but, like, it was so bad. And going away from that, we'll talk about that later. But like, quite literally, like, I used to be like that, where it's just like I thought it was one person for me, but, like, for me to have that one person again, or like that mentality where it's like, oh yeah, it's one person for you. I feel like I do have to learn you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think everyone has to learn.
no, I mean like legit. Like, I have to learn to like you. Like, I have to learn to have the infatuation for you.
And I'm saying, I think that it happens. Everyone has to learn a little bit, whether it be before, whether it be, you know, during. It can't be after, because, you know, that's so. But
Not really. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if it's one thing I know regarding, like, my hookups, most of them are, like, some of my best friends. Like, and I don't push this on nobody because, like, this is, like, definitely something that, like, I'm not gonna say this is only me, but I actually got called out for it. I fuck my friends.
You do.
Like,
yep.
and not only do I, like, fuck my friends,
Second offense.
like, not only do I do that, like, I actually, like, the people that I, like, randomly hook up with, I end up either becoming their therapist or I become someone that is like extremely dependent on, or like somebody that can be dependable for. Like one of my friends, like deadass, gave me head one time.
Hey, yo!
Like one time, gave me head. We have been best friends ever since. Like we don't,
So funny.
like we don't talk very often, but like when we do, motherfucker, it's 3-hour long conversations every single time. We're supposed to have lunch at some point before I leave for school.
Who is this?
It's not who you think it is.
Hey, yo, Elijah, I'm gonna be honest though, like, that's just common. Like, people will attach to you whether or not you like it or not. Like, people will depend on you based on your experiences with you. You're just such a great person.
Yeah.
Stop before I cry.
I mean, it's true. It's true.
I'm gonna
Like,
break
I mean,
down.
it's true. You
This
are.
episode would be like,
You are such an approachable person,
Yeah.
and you're such like you are comfort itself.
Mhm.
Like I always feel so comfortable when I'm around you, regardless of what I'm going through. And like no matter like I don't feel like that's why I feel comfortable having these kinds of deep conversations with you, regardless of who's in the room. Like. And I'm able to tell you certain things that I don't think I can tell a lot of people, because you hear me, which is like not a lot of people. Like you will look at me. You literally turned your chair to face me when we had a conversation earlier. Not a lot of people will do that. So like, I'm not surprised by you building those relationships with people who you are sexually active with. Because you are a comforting person.
I did it again. Don't worry.
You did it again. Okay, so audience,
I'm not trying to take away from
No, we're adding you into this because now you've become an entity into the show, and like you're not even on camera. So the guy who's like running the camera has been like drinking
is more important than whatever the fuck I'm going through.
Okay, we'll come back to
Molly matters more than I do at this very exact moment.
Okay, we'll continue this.
Question her.
Okay,
Please
continue.
So, well now the moment's up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, you feel a little guilty, don't you?
If I could.
It's not.
If I could.
Yes.
Like, bro, do I even have to say it? Like, you're my day one.
Mm-hmm.
And we met off the randomest encounter. I remember it clear as day. We're walking through like a forest. Remember that headlock trip? Where we go through that forest, right?
Was this the? Oh no, this is Gettysburg was
Are
the
you
one.
talking about
Bro.
like fucking raid? I don't know what the fuck the fuck of the name
Hemlock.
is.
Hemlock. So we were on this hemlock trip, right? And I'm being wheeled along. I had a dedicated aide at the time, and they were tired. And I see him like in the back, and this man just goes, "Hey, how you doing?" Right? And like I can't explain it, but the energy, right?
It's the energy.
It's the energy and the vibe.
The aura.
Right?
You have such a pure aura. Like even though
I feel
Even
like
though you-
Molly has so much to speak about this. Like he just knows.
Would you like to be in the video, sir?
like
I would not.
the whole, like when it comes to like I don't know, even in high school, like you just have this calming presence and like just this
listen to her though.
joyful like aura about you that I just like want more of. I'm like that sounds so weird, but it's like
Hey, we get it, though. We
Give it to me. Hey.
really like that's why like I've always been a touchy person. Like I'm always like, and a lot of my friends know this. All of my friends know this. I'm a very touchy person, but like I just want to like just be like attached to you at all points in time. Maybe because you're just like
Have you ever watched Naruto?
Yo,
Do not
No.
compare me to that blonde-haired bitch. I despise him.
Do you know where they have to retrieve Sasuke?
Yeah.
Right, you know that person that can split into two?
Shadow Clone Jutsu?
That's her right there.
me.
Yeah. Like, she tries to be everybody you accept at all times, regardless of the fact.
You calling me out?
I'm not well, you know what, I'm gonna be honest, I am.
Ooh,
but like,
get it.
Wait, no, explain, please. I'm
right now, you know, I don't know what their name is, but the person becomes a twin as soon as they split from each other and they share knowledge between each person.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like when they do genjutsu, which means like they do an illusionary perspective on everybody they know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Then it becomes like a true thing, but that person itself knows that it's not.
So how are you
how
bringing this? How does this relate to me?
That person relates to you because they are who you are. Like, you craft yourself because you want to be accepted at every single table. That you would never take your own tribe and your own perspective against the common person. That you would never know.
The problem is that I fully understand what he's saying, and the problem is I can't explain it.
I mean, like...
No, I know what you're saying.
Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying, but the thing is, regarding that, is like...
Do you understand Molly
okay.
as a person she is? Or are you understanding the perspective she's trying to perceive?
No, okay. So, Molly, if there's one thing that I've understood, I am a multifaceted motherfucker. I am definitely somebody who can definitely be someone that everybody can absorb. But there are times where it's like...
My bad.
Like, you should not... Don't call nobody out like that. Yeah. But, listening, like, I began to realize, like, straight up, like, I'm that type of individual where, like, whatever I do, like, people tend to absorb around it. And it's like I've kind of forced myself into that mentality where everything I do. But there are moments where it's like I feel as though I can't keep it up. It's like I am like this naturally, but like there are points where I dead ass will like sit in my room, and like I think I made this a bit in college, like where it was like I'm making a sandwich, but like those times where I'm making a sandwich is not just me making a sandwich, like. I'd be like
Elijah. Do you?
I'd be like because like I was like watching this on like I was watching what the fucking regular Ragnarok. There's the most recent like part. No spoilers. If you haven't seen it, skip to like it's a thing on Netflix. It's really fucking good. It's Record Ragnarok. It's an anime.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
And
Molly, you should watch anime because it dives into like human perspective so much deeper than a regular show could.
Yeah, but like
because it's animated, right? Like so you can develop that perspective between the person and the soul.
But like I want you to.
I don't know if you understand that. But
the problem is I speak drunk.
No, I understand that. Like I.
And that's why I'm on my fourth.
But what's the name? Like regarding that, like there's a character in Record of Ragnarok. I won't like go into it. Well, if I speak the mythology, you'll understand the mythology. But there's a character who quite literally like absorbs like the negativity, the pain, the hardships of everyone around him, and I do that naturally.
I'm just saying. The thing with me is that I'm able to tell that about a person. I can't do it myself, but I can tell that about a person. Like I can tell. I can just read you and be like, okay, I got you, Aura. You're good. you know, like that's I agree because that's the kind of person you are. You kind of like you subconsciously do it, and I think it's also just not even subconsciously. You just kind of it just happens. It's like an unexplained phenomenon about you.
Would you say that like the human race? An example would absorb negative experiences from each other to save each other the pain of it.
Yes.
That's why So what I was saying before was to your question about whether people can absorb people's negativity to take away the pain. I think that's what physical touch is for me. When I'm close to someone, when I'm upset, when I'm dissociating, when I'm whatever the fucking reason is, or if I'm happy, I always need that physical touch. Because like I said before, I'm a person, I feel a lot. I feel like too much that can even I can comprehend. So I need someone else close by to help me absorb or help me calm down whatever storm is inside of me. So if I'm ever dissociating or I'm in pain, I need someone there with me to hold me, to comfort me in any way, shape, or form physically, because I feel like my energy will be able to transfer to the other person through that physical touch. And I'm not just you're touching me here on a shirt. I'm talking about skin to skin contact. I need that.
Hug.
Yes, a hug.
Yeah.
Cuddling. Even just the simplest little knee touch. Because I remember there was a couple times during school where I asked one of my friends, can we touch knees? Because I was anxious and I needed some sort of physical touch, and she was right next to me, so I was like, can I touch your knee? And it's that physicality between humans that I think everybody desires and everybody wants, because it really does help with.
And if I may speak, I'm gonna come up with the opposite thing again, right? Because I would love to have that, right? I would love to just have someone transfer my energy and vice versa, their energy to transfer to me through physical touch. But the other thing, right, is that I don't think that I have this fear, and I think this is my biggest fear, is that the reason why I don't open up about my issues too much, right? Because I don't open up, right? Not too much. This podcast is kind of like the first time I've actually opened up to people. But I have a fear that, whatever I'm struggling with, they won't get it. They won't understand it. So I keep it to myself because I have the belief that I understand it. So I have to deal with it by myself, alone. And there's some comfort in that, right? Like I was saying earlier, you're your biggest champion, right? But sometimes, right, you really need someone, right, to just hold, to touch. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't get hugs that often. Not genuine, true hugs. Not the kinds that make you feel safe and you breathe deep and, you're in heaven for a couple minutes. If you get up and hug me, I swear to God. But yeah, no, I don't have that. I want it, but I don't have it, right? And I feel like that fear gets in the way. I also have a fear of getting close romantically because I don't want to hurt them, right? I don't want them to feel like, because I'm so used to taking care of myself I'm so used to there only being one person take care of me, figure out what you need. But when you're in that relationship space, when you're in that relationship world, you have to think about the other person, right? And I think one of my biggest fears is that, that's, taking care of me is the true version of myself. It's my true way of doing things, and I don't want the other person to think that I don't care about them. I do. It's just that it's only been me for so long, right?
I don't feel like you'll be able to love them enough.
Exactly, right? Physically, mentally, spiritually. And honestly, I'm gonna be real, the last time I did that, they took advantage of that. They took advantage of my kindness and my compassion and the fact that I was there for them, right? And
they are dead to us.
They are. But that's why I keep that. I reserve that for myself because, like you, I feel a lot. But I don't express too much, right? I know when I say I feel a lot, I feel a lot, right? But I don't share, right? Because they won't understand it, right? I have a fear that they're going to take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a fear that they, whatever they bring on me, that I won't understand, right? I have a fear that I won't be able to help them. And, I appreciate the fact that people recognize your comforting aura because, I would love to have people comfort around me, right? And, people have complimented me like, oh, you're so strong, you're so brave. I tell them, hey, I'm just doing me. I'm just living life, right? But yeah, regarding the whole, loving someone else, I have to make space in my mind for that, and that's hard right now because there's no one. So like, yeah.
So like, continuing on from that. Fuck.
Sorry, am I loud enough?
So regarding that, I didn't want to say this earlier because I was gonna have a fucking aneurysm. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because I was speaking real loud.
No. You're fine. I don't know what the fuck is going on in there.
Oh yeah, no.
But I really hope that.
Shut the fuck up.
Yelling.
I'm sorry.
Stop yelling. Anyway, regarding that, there's nothing. It's an old house.
What is that sound?
I don't know. I don't want to fuck around and find out. But
It sounds like ocean sounds.
or a
This is
toilet
like a-
flushing.
Or like a dishwasher?
But anyway, can you?
Is the dishwasher running upstairs?
No, not that. I mean, like, it actually sounds like ocean music. It's like whoosh.
Yeah. It sounds like a washer, like a dishwasher.
But no, continuing on to that conversation we were having regarding that, it's like the thing about that is like I know that what I sometimes like associate this idea that I want someone like me, and the thing is I'm not gonna find that because that's not even realistic.
I know.
No, I mean like not like what normal people would be like. I mean like there is no one like me because what I did to become this, I had to die for.
So like, wait, what are you speaking on?
I mean, okay, so the idea that this is actually something that this is not a question. This is kind of something random that I kind of like thought about. Is like, so everyone always says, "Oh, I'd love to like be with someone that's exactly like me, or someone like me," and I realized something. I'm like, there's no one going to be like
You're
me.
right. And I think I don't want to.
Can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
And it's like I realized that a long time ago regarding that. It's like I always say that I want someone like me, and it's like I want someone on the taller side. I want somebody who's like compassionate, who wants to be there with me, not just I'm gonna get you presents, or I do like presents. I'm not gonna lie to you. Give me a rose. Give me a nice fruit juice, like some pineapples.
Oh, we got pineapple.
Open your legs. I don't care. Fuck, I didn't practice being a slut for no reason.
Hey, yo.
I promise you, the woman that I find, the woman that I or like whoever I'm with that finally like holds me down and actually makes me like decide, yeah, like I'm done. There's no more chase.
The only person who you will find at the end of this road is yourself.
Bro, this nigga is so fucked up. He's saying some real spiritual shit, but the problem is, it's not the time.
He's got a point.
This nigga spitting. He's got his spitting for. But like the thing is, like I know that I like created this like construct, but the thing is, I created this personality. Like, if words, Jesus Christ, you didn't know me before middle school. Like during middle school, especially towards like 8th grade, I kind of like changed myself. It's like I realized.
I'm so sorry about this, but before you ask yourself whether or not you are your own person, did your parents change the log to this bathroom? Because I can't turn it on.
Turn the lights?
Yeah,
Turn on the lights.
Mackenzie, if you want to, please, for yourself, turn this shit on. And Elijah, I think. I'll wait right here.
The light
Yes.
is on.
I completely 100% agree with you.
Okay, but no, like regarding like that, I like towards I think 8th grade, I kind of like changed myself. Like, because it's like I realized something. I don't know what made me change in 8th grade. I honestly, yeah, no, I don't know what. Oh, fuck! I know exactly what made me change. We're not going into that, 'cause that's really fucked up. But we're gonna talk about like the after effect of it.
Yeah.
So, like, what happened was like quite literally, like I sat down and I was like realizing, like, holy shit, I'm a fucking dweeb.
Interesting.
In what way?
No, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I love my nerdy side,
Hey, wait.
but it gets in the, but it like it kind of gets in the way of my, like, for you that's great. That's great, but it gets in the way of my life because like it's not the life I want to live. Like I enjoy, like I love it. Like I still watch comic historians to this day. I'm still watching all the blurs out there.
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of going to Comic-Con, but the thing is, it got in my way at the moment that I realized it. Because it was like I realized it was like it's taking a lot of my time. Because in all actuality, like I love myself, but I love the me that I created now. I realized, like, I think around, like, 8th grade, like, it was like, I have to change. I have to become better. Like, I think it was the beginning of 8th grade. And we're going to talk later.
Okay.
But, I think it was, like, the beginning of 8th grade I had realized that it was just, like, damn, like, I need to change. Not just, like, for myself, but for the people around me. Like.
And who did you become?
No, it's perfect. The best part about this is raw. Like,
Who did you become?
so what I started off was like my pre-8th grade self and then post-8th grade self. Post-8th grade self is what I am, well, not truthfully. No.
Part of who you are now.
Oh no, Jesus Christ. I changed myself at least 2 or 3 times.
Hey.
But like, but that's normal. But the thing is, like, 8th grade self, like it was like almost a 180.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. Like the change, like I don't think my parents might have noticed this, or my mom at the time noticed it, but like I completely changed myself, like a whole like.
Before we get to the conversation, Molly, do you have a rubber band?
Oh,
No.
I do. Is this cool with you?
Can you pass it to me?
Yeah,
That's gonna hurt his hair.
Nah.
Wait.
I will be
Maybe
honest,
not.
like, between every action that I do, I believe myself as normal, and between every interaction that I do is extra.
Did you see how perfect that shot was?
was, yeah.
That is...
Bro, my life is on aimbot. I'm a sniper.
I will be honest, like...
Got
because you're
2015
not,
vision.
But because you believe yourself to be perfect in every way, I will continue to perpetuate that mission. So if you don't believe yourself to be perfect, I will disagree with you.
Okay. I love you.
Molly, the same goes to you.
I'll kiss you on your forehead. Okay, so this is gonna be a 3-part episode. This is 3 parts easily. It's gonna be 100% a 3-part episode. We're gonna have to break this into parts as well. It's not gonna be a conventional one. We're probably gonna have another fucking one of those things where I have to explain the situation. But it's a very deep conversation. This is one of those conversations. It's like one of maybe like infinite conversations where I will definitely not say the topic because there were some things I wanted to discuss, but like it's like we couldn't like offhand right now. And we will get back to you regarding these type of like questions and stuff like that. If you want like the questions that we ask, like the actual script, every episode I write a script. We don't stay to that script, but every episode we write a script. And I could send you the questions straight up, and I would send them your way. If you have your own critiques, any like questions, any thoughts regarding it, please let me know.
I'll be honest though, like most of them should be referred to you, if not a minimum of it should be referred to Molly. But if you don't do not want to ask Molly's backstory, you should ask her directly.
No, I can understand that. What's the name? If they're like regarding any like people's backstories and stuff, like they will be directed. Like if you have any like questions regarding like actual guests on the show, like reach out to me at tut.3li on Instagram. Just DM me. I will respond 99% of the time. I might not see it at first.
And if he doesn't respond, it's absolutely because you're late.
No, I will respond back to you, and it's like I appreciate that you feel comfortable enough to reach out to me regarding anything. This is something that we will continue to talk about going forward. This is a very serious conversation, as all the other conversations, and I want to be able to have.
It's been a good conversation.
Great conversation.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it's not done.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you actually like seen, but we hit like 4 questions out of 32.
Molly and Caleb. Yeah, like 32 hours of this shit isn't long enough to trust people who they've been through these situations.
All right.
Thanks for coming.
All right,
Thanks for listening and tuning in.
So thank you for tuning in. As I say before, and as I say usually, I hope this to be almost any podcast that everyone can feel comfortable about. If you would like to be on the show, please let me know, like through my DMs.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. If you would like to be on the episode, please let me know. Especially if you go to Norwich University or if you're in the DMV. I'm here for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I think. Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks. After that, I'm gone. I actually have to explain that to so many people. Oh my god. But
if you have any questions,
you for you doing what is best for you.
If you have any questions about what we talked about, like if you have questions about like anything specific that someone talked about, just reach out to. If you have any specific, things to say about what we talked about specifically or what he talked about specifically, just reach out to him and he can reach out to us.
I mean, I prefer if they reach out to you because I'm gonna be honest, bro. If I see a rando in my DMs, I'm not gonna respond. So reach out to me.
Yeah, reach out to him.
yes, definitely reach out to me. I appreciate all insight and all input. Thank you for your time. And as I like to say, a vida